Alright, this video is about a real fight to death. This is real news. It just happened earlier this morning, around 2:45 a.m. and the location is not even a block from where my school is. My school is on Howard Street, and it just happened down the block earlier today. And this is the news that I'm gonna read to you, and I'll also put it in the description section of this. I'll put the link in the description section of this video, and you can see for yourself. It's all over the news right now. And this is the reality of what's going out there on the streets. And this is the reality of what martial artists need to prepare for, and just the people in this world, especially in this neighborhood. It's actually considered Evanston because Chicago Avenue, it cuts off Chicago to Evanston. So it happened on Howard Street and Chicago Avenue in Evanston. So this is what it says. Evanston police investigate the city's first murder of the year after a man was shot to death at Howard and Chicago. Police are investigating a fatal shooting that took place early Monday. Police said they received a call from a person shot at the intersection of Howard Street and Chicago Avenue around 2:45 a.m. Witnesses said a 25-year-old man had been involved in a fight with another man who pulled a gun and shot him in the head. According to the police, the suspect ran northbound on Chicago Avenue while the 25-year-old man was taken to St. Francis Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police said witnesses are cooperating with investigators to seek the identity of the gunman. The suspect was described as a 25-year-old black man, about 6 feet tall with a medium build, wearing a white t-shirt and black pants. Alright, so St. Francis Hospital is actually the hospital where my children were born. And this happened right by my school, and I was at the school during that time. I didn't hear the gunshot or gunshots, but I heard about it, what happened this morning. And one of the guys that I interact with a lot in the community found me this morning. He actually told me that he saw the shooting, everything. He saw everything that happened. He actually saw the person get shot in the head, and he saw the suspect, face to face. And he was brought into questioning to the police for about 4 hours. So basically what he said was that the suspect was planning to rob somebody, and he was planning to rob the cab drivers. And he said there's about 3 cab drivers, and the suspect was planning to rob them, and he kept circling around that street, and then the cab drivers didn't take him in, so he went towards this group of people where the victim was with 2 or 3 other women. It was with 2 women or 3 women, and the suspect approached the victim and tried to rob the victim. And the victim was from out of the country and couldn't even really speak English. And then they said that supposedly he said that he shot him in the hip, and then they continued to have an altercation, and then the suspect was mounted on top of the victim and pretty much pulled out a gun, put it to his head, and killed him point blank. Just shot him in the head while he was on the ground. So just think about that situation. And he said that the victim was much smaller than the suspect. So the suspect, 6 feet tall, bigger guy, bigger than the victim, and in addition had a gun on top of that. So imagine fighting against somebody who is bigger than you, and not only is he bigger than you, but he even has a gun as well. And you are smaller, and you have no weapons. This person is dead on the scene, and he's never gonna come back. His life is over. They're out at 2:45 in the morning. Some things, preventative measures. Maybe try not to be out so late, because late night at this time, some bad things could happen. Also, the neighborhood. Maybe you shouldn't be out so late, especially in this sort of neighborhood. It's a rough neighborhood. Other things is maintaining distance. Somebody that is approaching you, try to maintain your distance from that person. Don't let that person get too close to you. And if he keeps approaching you, maybe you might have to run. Other things is, if you do have to fight somebody or defend yourself, try not to get onto the ground. Do your best to not be in the ground. So then you can remain mobile, and you can run if you need to. And then you can also visually see if this person is reaching for a weapon or whatnot. If you do get on the ground, you're pretty much fighting for your life at that moment. You don't know what could happen. So training would be important. And fitness training, strength training, being strong, be able to, to survive a situation like that. Somebody's trying to rob you. Maybe something I could say is just try not to resist and encourage a physical altercation. Because the person that's robbing you might have a gun, and it's just not worth risking your life for whatever money that you have in your pocket. So I would say to just try to be calm and try to be relaxed and try to comply with whatever they want from you as far as your money is concerned. But who knows, every single detail of what happened. But the person that I know from the neighborhood told me these details that haven't even been released to the public yet, that detail the gruesomeness of this crime. It doesn't seem at all to be gang related. They're saying that he was saying that these are like foreign exchange students that weren't even from this country, and they're just out late at night taking pictures by the viaduct, and some person was looking to rob somebody, and wrong place at the wrong time, and then a physical altercation occurred, and they were fighting. The victim ended up being on the ground, and then the suspect pulled out a gun and shot him in the head, and that's pretty much what happened, according to what this person told me. And as the suspect got up, he looked face to face with the person that told me about it, and then the person ran, and he didn't kill the witness, but he could have easily killed the witness as well. But this is the situation. This is the serious things that happen, and this is just one incident of many that occur within this neighborhood where my school is located. There are murders in Chicago all the time, and shootings. And this is the stuff that's the reality of what it is that we're dealing with out there. How do you survive a situation against somebody who has a gun and isn't afraid to use it? And this is a fight to death. This is fighting for survival. This is making smart decisions in life in order to protect your safety and well-being. Being attentive, being aware, making the right decisions. But these are all things that we need to think about as we train. This is the reality of what I aim to survive. The reality of what I aim to improve upon as far as my tactics are concerned. So then I am not the one who is in the newspaper as the dead person. Because I pass by that location every single day. And sometimes I am out very late at night where the incident occurred. Sometimes I'm out there at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, even 3 in the morning. And this could have very easily happened with me being there. It doesn't scare me from this neighborhood, it doesn't scare me from this location, but it makes me more aware of what I'm dealing with out there, what I could potentially deal with, the violence that could potentially occur. And these are the things that need to be analyzed from a scientific standpoint, and studied by martial artists, in which to enhance their chances of survival, in this violent world that we live in. So I wanted to bring this up, to share this, to my audience, so that they know, this is what I'm dealing with in this neighborhood. This is my reality. My reality is not watching 2 boxers in a boxing ring, or 2 fighters in a cage, or Muay Thai fighters, or Olympic wrestling. That's not my reality. My reality is, there's gangs out there, there's violent people out there, there are people with guns out there, there are people out there ready to kill, even if it is for $1, $10, $50. They're willing to kill because they have nothing to lose. And to handle this sort of situation, it requires a lot of skill and wisdom. And that comes with the martial arts training, it comes with the meditation, it comes with training towards bettering your intelligence to be able to handle volatile situations with more competency. So it's sad to think about, somebody losing their life over something so stupid. But I want to learn from it. And I hope that others can learn from it as well.